Michaela Kate here again, and another question, same viewer, but kind of a different question in terms of toxicity. She says, you are in a new job and realize it's toxic. Now what? So that is tough. Toxic, just by definition, means harmful, poisonous, unpleasant. So if you find yourself in any of those feelings, it potentially may be toxic. And the key really is discerning, especially if you came from a healthy environment with strong leaders and healthy leaders. Maybe it's just someone who's extra negative and a bit, down in the dumps all the time. That can feel toxic, but might not necessarily be toxic. And so it's good to really identify, is this just a bunch of people who don't like their job and are a bit grumpy all the time? Or is this truly a toxic situation where we have unhealthy leaders? It's not a safe place. People are manipulative, deceptive, maybe some of those deeper things. And a few things to maybe, as you just jump into this new position, before you jump ship altogether and you're trying to decide, do I stay? Do I go? What do I do here? A few things to, in your day-to-day, the week-to-week, to think about and to identify. The first thing is to really identify the behaviors of these people. Not so much, you can kind of track their words, of course, but really behavior tells the story. Their actions tell the story. So they may talk a good game, and they usually do, say all the right things, but behavior and action tell the story. So start making a behavior log of what you're seeing, what you're observing. And then also from there, after maybe a week or two or a month in, then go back and look, do you notice any patterns? Are you seeing any patterns of behavior where the kind of deeper core things happen, where there's maybe duplicity happening, there's maybe manipulation happening, there's maybe triangulation happening, things that are just reoccurring themes that you notice from the behavior of these. These are one individual. And then two, you can identify best you can triggers that may occur in situations where something, a main conversation happens and this person always seems to have this response. Things like that are kind of go-to triggers for teams or maybe this potential toxic leader. And another kind of just practical thing before you just maybe jump ship to do is to look back on those first days and weeks within the team, within that leader, and identify any red flags, because hindsight can provide great clarity. And so are there any red flags that you notice, things that you look back and you're like, you know what, in both those situations, I just didn't feel good. It kind of felt yucky. I can't even pinpoint it, but it's like looking back, you felt it, and going forward, you can still feel it. So those red flags are really key to pay attention to, because more than likely they'll keep popping up. And hopefully then from there, you can discern a bit, how bad is it? Is it so bad that you're like, I need to change, I gotta go, I can't do this? And a big part of that is discerning, if you were to fast forward 6 months to a year from now, what would the cost be of you staying? Would it cost you mentally, emotionally, physically? How much is it costing you right now? Just in your own, mental and emotional and physical well-being? Are you feeling that effects already? That to me is always a big sign. But then, so to kind of think, going back in the present, going forward, what am I discerning? What am I feeling? And to get really practical, what are the patterns? What are the things I'm noticing? If you have or can find a safe person that you've grown to trust within the organization, have an honest conversation with them, see if they notice it too, if anyone has spoken up to this person or persons, how has that gone? That's always very telling. And so there's a lot of things you can do just initially, both on your own and maybe with the safe people around you, to dig in a bit deeper. So not fun when you're starting a new job. Hopefully that's not the majority of you, but a few practical things to do if you find yourself in that situation. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time.